what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire. Yes, a man will always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. I got tons of soul on my true collectible. Famous, also famous, number one, desirable. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want it. Leave you with the one in the air, that's how I roll. I got change to throw, I don't care about no gold. Better, so much better, flipping incredible. Always on the show, so they know that I still got it. And I never feel sorry, yeah, top of the world. This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. This is me, I'm still on it, cause you all wanna be loved. Yeah, you all wanna be loved by a champion, a champion. When I hear him come like my fuse and then ba-bum. Later, see you later, I'm about to blow this up. You can sing my song if you want, I know you want it. It's always kinda funny, yeah, cause I know I'm a superstar in the sky to lead you on. Haters gonna hate us, approve of how they love. They can bring me down, nah, nah, nah. They are jealous of me and my umbrella, yeah, they love me so. This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. This is me, I'm still on it, cause you all wanna be loved. Yeah, you all wanna be loved by a champion, a champion. Yeah, all I wanna do is just say, you don't understand how I play. I am on my way to win you over and over, yeah. Oh, you can hear my voice in your head, and you wanna hear it again. So you play it over and over and over, yeah. Champion, champion. This is me, I'm still on it, cause you all wanna be loved. Yeah, you all wanna be loved by a champion, champion. This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. Yeah, all I wanna do is just say, you don't understand how I play. I am on my way to
Stepping into the final week of the arena stage, the Kings of the Americas have one last shot to reset the board. A chance to climb from the bottom right to the top and turn redemption into reputation. 6 teams return to the battlefield today, answering the call once more as they continue their quest to conquer the hill and prove who truly rules the Americas. Welcome back everyone to the North America Kings Arena. This is day 1 of week 3, the final week of the arena stage. I'm your caster Liz, joined by the desk with the wonderful Private Dancer.
What's going on? Thank you, Liz. And yes, that is correct. We are at the final day of the arena stage of this competition. All 6 teams looking to duke it out. And like you said, one team will be progressing to this Sunday.
Yeah, let's see what it takes for them to get to the Sunday matches as we take a look at the tournament format. Looking at the board, we have Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, and today we will see the Phase 1 and Phase 2 stage of the tournament. Day 1, we will see 3 best out of 3s, and whoever wins in the series will progress into Phase 2 for a best out of 1 private.
Yeah, that best of 1 at the second half of our night today will feature a round robin like competition there where all 3 teams will face each other, and whoever has the most victories will be moving on to our Sunday competition.
Yeah, once again, the prize pool is looking really juicy this week, especially for the arena stage, as in total we'll have $6,000 worth of cash prizes and 62,500 tokens. And for the arena stage, every team who wins the Sunday match will be taking home $1,000 and a lot of tokens private.
Yeah, week 1, week 2 already in the books. Here we are at week 3. The prize will be $1,000 and 10,000 tokens for the winner. You can see the totals up there at the top. And then as we move on to the playoffs, it gets just a little bit more juicy as first place will be walking away with $2,000, second place with $700, third place with $300. The rest of the tokens up there, and you can see what is up for grabs for all of these teams.
Yeah, if you think the arena stage is a hill to climb, the playoff will be a mountain to topple, because that is only one team that takes away that $2,000. But in the arena stage, you have a shot to reset the board every single week. So let's see how the teams today will compete. And now looking at the schedule today, Private. Today in the Phase 1, we'll have 6 teams. Now looking at the board, we already see Midnight Thief getting an all-day win against STMN Esports, because STMN Esports right now is representing the Americas at KML, so they will be representing the Americas. Best of luck to their tournament, and that means that they cannot participate in our tournament today.
Yeah, a lucky hand Delta Midnight Thieves there, but for the rest of the day, we're gonna go ahead, kick things off with N19 taking on Fire Legion Esports. That's gonna start us off, and then ending the night with Flash Smilodon taking on Team Trolls. Then, as we talked about before, we will move on to Phase 2 as well.
Yeah, so looking at the board already, Midnight Thief is progressing into Phase 2. That might give them a head start against some of these teams, as last week we've seen how dominant some of these players are. So now they have one more chance for those teams to prove that they are the top teams. Now, one of these teams are N19. N19 versus Fire Legion Esports will be the first series, and for N19 they have Big Tier Mid in the Clash lane, Fred in the jungle, Sway in the mid lane, Ayaka in the roam, and Kevin as their goal laner, and Pitwing standing by and waiting to step in.
Yeah, it's going to be a stacked roster there as they take on Fire Legion Esports, who had a little bit of a rough going yesterday here, or last week, shall I say. But coming back strong is going to be in the Clash lane, Rainy. Jungle will be taken up by Deathmaker. Mid lane will be Skylar Honey. The roam will be Anne. And the farm lane will be Skybang. And sitting on the bench there to help out with a sub will be Bloody.
Yeah, Bloody sitting there for in the bench and waiting for his bloody revenge. So very exciting first series of the day. Now for N19, last week they really give it their best shot, right? They've had a dominating performance, but just not enough to take down Flash Smilodon, who was the top 2 teams coming into the open qualifiers. Now this week they have one more chance, right? So Private, let's see what the first series of the day, what it brings to us as we walk ourselves into the draft.
Yeah, I want to say Fire Legion Esports, a little bit of a bitter welcome last week as they entered some very stiff competition in the form of Flash Smilodon. Here, going to be going up against N19, and hopefully they're expecting the same type of competition. N19 have been very strong, very thorough with a lot of their drafts as well. So, and we talked about it before. It's not just about drafts too. It's about some of those executions and how you do it out on the field. Right here, we're going to go ahead with a Zhang Fei takeout from N19, followed by Lung. And on the side of Fire Legion Esports, look like Fatih and Dharma taken off the boards with those bans.
Yeah, I mean, the first, Dharma has been banned throughout this tournament, right? And we see on the board, we have Diadea and Arlie picked out for N19. Some very dominating laners, especially in the early game with a Diadea. But now that is kind of a squishy lineup. So that kind of tells me that they potentially are considering a more tankier jungler. So we'll have to see what Fire Legion Esports have in the next banning phase, right?
Yeah, right now, N19, you've just got firepower with the Arlie coming up in the mid to late game, Mai Shiranui right from the beginning, but you're going to need something to kind of carry you into those, to kind of help the Mai be able to clear up the mid. You need some of that tanking ability too, as well, which will be a great pair when it comes with the Diadea. I'm assuming Fire Legion Esports maybe start banning out some of those heavier, tankier roles, the Agudo, I think the Yang Jian we've been seeing a lot of as well. On their side, they've already gone ahead and kind of shown their cards. They're showing you that they're going to have that tanky front line, that very big early game with their jungle pickup as well. And then they've got that tanky I want to say CC amount that you get with the Lian Po as well. Having that Zhang Fei taken off the board kind of made them go with their secondary pick here. Still very strong, still very tough, especially in the early game where you want to kind of be building up and giving the opportunity for your team to be farming and getting to that mid game that they like. Ooh.
Oh, the classic Pei and Mai combo in the early game, Diadea and Arlie combo in the farm lane, looking very interesting on the side of N19, and they banned out the Chano, so it's a great counter up against the Arlie, but that still leaves a lot of powerful marksmen available for the side of Fire Legion Esports, right?
Yeah, oh, no doubt. But what this means, though, is we've also taken off, we're possibly hoping for a very tanky Clash laner coming from B tier mid here, because you have a very squishy lineup coming from N19. It's gonna hovering over that Lubu, and I think they actually picked it. Haven't seen I think we actually saw one Lubu last week. It wasn't as powerful as we had hoped. Byron getting picked up for the side of Fire Legion Esports now too as well.
Yeah, Byron is such a dominating force in the early game, and falling off a little bit towards the late game, but he's still definitely one of the S tier or A tier Clash laners right now out there. But it looks like for the side of Fire Legion Esports, they're a very tanky lineup, so it does take a lot for N9 to kind of crush them down in the early game, especially if you have something like the Pei, that right. We've seen how much Pei can do in this tournament so far. Private every day seeing Pei's face just crying a little bit on the inside, but we've seen how N19 can perform, especially up against some of these more beginner teams. So I am expecting very interesting first and exciting first series of the day. Private, let's begin.
Yeah, going to be game one of this Fire Legion Esports against N19. You talked about the pay, and this is kind of what I want to see. I want to see this early aggression. Already 4 members in there. Flash is executed out there, but not going to be enough. Down goes Skylar Honey. What a surprise to Fire Legion Esports, and this is exactly what I was going to talk about. If you have a pay on your team, you want to be kind of enforcing, getting a lot of that early aggression. Look at the power here, too. He's trying to get in here in between their roam and right here. Actually might be in trouble here. Another kill there for the side of N19. And this is where pay pays off, when you're able to invade the jungle, able to get that early lead, able to kind of keep that momentum and refuse that to your enemy.
Yeah, I mean, that is a textbook pay in the early game. I mean, this might be the first level 1 invade we've seen from Pei so far in this tournament. So very exciting for sure. And I haven't actually seen a Flowborn mage this tournament so far. We might have seen one, but she's just not as utilized in the mid lane as she is in the marksman and the tank role, right?
Yeah, I feel like while she does have a little bit of CC, the distance and the range in which how close you need to get, and the lack of the lengthening CC kind of put her in an odd position, that the closer you get, the more of a target you become, and you don't really have a ton of damage, especially in the early game, to kind of offset that from your enemies. So she doesn't really get picked as much when you've got a lot of these mages that have got CC potential. They've got this huge monstrous damage that they can do from afar, and so it's one of those I want to say taste picks, depending on where you are with some of the spice levels there. And speaking of spice levels, Skybang at the bottom gets a rude awakening as they find another kill. 4-0 right now for N19.
I mean, that's the power of having a Diadea in the early game, right? She has the support for you. She also has that damage in the early game, and paired up with an Arlie is just makes the farm lane just easier in the early game. And once again, Pei gets the enemy blue buff and walking into his jungle with ease.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to be doing as a Pei. Usually you're kind of in the back end of your jungle just trying to farm while your team is trying to hold the line. Here, when you have such an advantage that your team is basically just steamrolling into each and every one of these lanes, you're able to come in, you're able to get kills, you're able to get all the gold that you need to actually be a menace here. Actually, might have been off a little bit more than they could chew. Using those flashes, big pop up on the 2 members. They do catch the Diadea. Ayaka is down and looking for another one. Kevin just narrowly gets away by the britches of an umbrella there.
I mean, that was a very ferocious start of the game, but they might have just overestimated their power in the early game and not being prepped for that engagement. But it's only 1 kill off the board, right? There's still about 3k gold ahead in front of the Fire Legion Esports, and now with the objectives ready to spawn, it looks like Pei is still camping in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking for kills right now. They're doing such a great job of being able to get into this jungle, press their advantage. There's not really much that can stop them right now. Pei's at a point where he can actually do damage at like the 3-minute mark. They're actually a fearsome bunch here. Now, actually going into this bush might be a bad way for them, but a great disengage from N19, creating that distance, making sure that there's nothing for Fire Legion Esports to kind of scoop up and even try to get that kill off of. Now, going to go ahead and focus onto this Tyrant. All of the members, both teams here looking for an advantage. Looks like Ann actually might be a little bit of trouble. In comes the big Deathmaker. Does get scooped up. That 3 down very quickly. N19 pushing their advantage. Find themselves a Tyrant and 3 down with it.
I mean, the damage is just not on par right now. Right, Private? Looking at the map, it's 4 minutes and 8 kills versus 1, and already a 6k gold lead in favor of N19. So the damage is brought on the map by N19, and there's not much, I would say, for Fire Legion Esports to do right now, but to defend their ground and really build some items and wait for the right opportunity to engage.
Yeah, they have the advantage. They're in the enemy jungle, trying to take away a lot of the buffs and other minions in here. Look at, they try to get the advantage here. Now they're forced to back up. Look how quickly able to turn it around is N19. 3 down, looking for a 4th, and that is going to be your jungle jungler taking down Deathmaker, just having a world of problem on this jungler.
5-minute mark already at the inhibitor tower, waiting to push down the high ground. That is crazy, Private. We are looking at possibly the fastest game we've seen so far.
Yeah, they're trying to get minions on their side right now. Fire Legion Esports have not been able to mount a bit of offense except for that one kill at the bottom lane, but that was more when N19 maybe got a little too greedy, started pushing their way a little bit too forward with, but the gold lead, who wouldn't here? You're at over a 10K gold lead at the 5-minute mark.
I mean, they commented itself a decisive goal lead at this point of the game. All they need is one successful dive and they can march further into the enemy base. And now it looks like Fire Legion Esports is backed into a corner, Private.
Yeah, a big flicker into a pop-up from the back line. Penguin comes in there on that MyShiranu. All members wiped off the board. A perfect set for the side of N19. And with minions knocking at the gates, I don't know that Fire Legion Esports are going to be able to survive this match. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. That is going to probably be the fastest game in NAKA history.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is indeed the fastest game so far we've seen in this tournament. A decisive victory coming in from N19. They started their aggression early on in the game at the 1-minute mark, and that is what they wrote for their first victory.
Yeah, and it started right from the beginning at the mid lane. 4 members of N19 dove in, able to find the jungler, able to find the mid, able to get 3 kills right off the boot, and then immediately invade. When you've got a pay on your team as well, he's already soaking up that gold. You've cut the uselessness of him at the early game in half to where now he comes online, now he's a threat, and what can you even do against that? And even on the Leon Poe was having issues trying to go in there and tank the damage at a 3-minute mark. So they absolutely dominated. And this is where it comes across. It's not always about the composition that you have. It's also about how well you know your rotations, how well you can surprise the enemy, how well you take advantage of those kills.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this tournament, we've seen last week a global ban at the request of the player on day 2 of the tournament, but this will be a standard ban pick, right? So some of these meta heroes, these OP picks, can still be on the board up for grabs for these teams. So now, as they walk into the second draft, they might have to reconsider some of the synergies that they bring onto the team for the side of Fire Legion Esports.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it felt like a few mistakes made. We got a little too, we didn't expect that big rush right from the beginning, but right there, it automatically started that steamroll, started getting your jungle taken from you, you're behind, your enemy's ahead, and this is just not the combination. MyShiranu, Pei, even Lubu on your team, that is just not the combination of heroes that you want to go against if you're starting to fall behind and they're starting to get ahead, because those people can just basically power walk a snowball down onto you.
Yeah, I mean, with the Pei and a Mai combo, they can expect early game aggression, even in invade, right? But I just think they didn't expect that early to be in the mid lane and to be at the mid wave. So that one death right there kind of set them back and set themselves up for failure throughout the game, right? So this second draft, they have a second chance. I mean, we do see N19 play more aggressive in at least the day 1 matches. So I'm excited to see what they have in store for us in the second draft of today.
Yeah, and losses like that are doubly hard because not only do you lose, and it does take a little knock to your confidence, but it's like, where do we start? What was the first problem that we had that was an issue? The first problem was kind of lackadaisically going into mid lane. All right, once you fix that, you've still got these amazing rotations that were coming out from them. So you just really got to clean up the get back to those basics. That get yourself a nice tanky composition like they had, which is usually supposed to be the safer option. But like I said, it's those little decisions that you make during the actual gameplay that really hit the hardest.
And now let's see what composition they have as we take a look at the draft for this game, what they have on board for us on both sides. I'm excited to see when this draft actually comes online. I guess the teams are still making their decisions, right? When you have First game, Private. What do you think they can do for the side of Legion Esports this game that will be different from the previous?
Honestly, you have to understand the heroes. You have to understand who has the advantage at what points in the game, and play like that. Understand what you see on the map. I talk about this so many times when it comes to mini map and being able to understand what you see, and more importantly, what you don't see. If you don't see something on the map, how do you react? If you don't see the entire team yet, then you should be hanging back. You're waiting for those side lanes minions to start coming in, and then to get the flash of the Clash laner to come in, or to get the flash of the marksman laner to come in. Now you know both of them are at the sides. You don't have to worry about pushing in through mid. It's these little things that you don't think about once you start playing often enough, that you just notice, like, all right, I know where this person is on the map. I'm safe to go forward. If I don't see anybody, always assume if you don't see anybody. That's my biggest thing, is always assume if you don't see anybody on the map, always assume they're in the bush that's waiting to gank you. And I think maybe that's gonna be probably
across the map, right, Private? And now let's take a look at what heroes are potentially up for grabs this game. As we take a look at the draft coming in for both sides, Byron taking off, and a Xiao Qiao, and one of my favorite heroes up in the mid lane, and an Aguda for N19, the strongest, I mean, almost perfect win streak hero in this current tournament.
Yeah, Agudo has really kind of come up into her own when it comes to this competition. A lot of people have a problem when it comes to how aggressive you can be underneath the tower, getting those objectives where you don't really have to worry. You just throw your bear at them, and there's nothing they can do. You just got this big tanking ability, this body underneath the tower, tanking shots and tower shots for you as well. So we're gonna see. It did look like that Xiao Qiao got changed out to an Angela at the last moment there, and you don't see these picks too often, but Angela is I like her when it comes to a lot of these tankier roles. And I honestly, man, maybe it's just the way how bad I am and I, but bro, like Angela for some reason does very well against the mobile assassin, just because she does have a CC that has a pretty big area of effect. So even if you're dashing around trying to close the distance, or something as predictable as a Mai, when you see her, you just kind of already know she's gonna try to close the distance on you very quickly. Throw out that CC right away, especially something that Angela will have on cooldown, and you'll be able to shut that down very quickly. I'm going to tell you right now, Skylar's going to need to be very careful on this Shiranui pick.
Yeah, but I mean, she picked the Mai Shiranui into the Angela, right? She had the option to go the Nuwa, which we thought will be the pick that she has in mind for us, but then it does seem like she wants to have that early game aggression, something that Mai can actually bring, right? It's paired pretty well with the Long and with the Mulan pick. I mean, Mulan, it depends on whose hand it is in, right? So if it's in great hands, Mulan has so much mobility and so much dive potential coming in from a Clash lane, so she's pretty strong up against many laners. Now, looking for both teams, some more unconventional picks from both sides. You mentioned the Angela route. Angela, especially in ranked games, is actually a very easy and very rewarding hero to play. She doesn't require that much skill cap on the hero, but she also, like you mentioned, have a lot of damage and a lot of CC. But she's very predictable. So how the Mai lanes up against the Angela, we'll have to see.
Yeah, and here's a spot where I would like to see the Fire Legion Esports be able to kind of come in from different angles. That's what's really going to be able to surprise and take down an Angela, who really is one of those backline front loading damage. I don't even know how you say it. Because they have one angle of attack that they can kind of come at you with, and once that angle of attack, once they've pretty much used all of their abilities, they're kind of useless in the back line. But we're gonna see if that pays off, if this composition is something that could be successful for Fire Legion Esports, now going up against a very dominant N19.
Yeah, already just Agudo just camping down in the river, looking for a step to kind of engage and invade the enemy jungle. Might actually be successful as she grabs that red buff and just rolls away like that.
That has to be a little disheartening too, and that's those little mistakes. When you're on the buff, buff, what you want to do, always assume that the enemy is going to be able to come in. You can take that buff and look at it. See, he's doing it right now. He takes the buff into the bush so that if somebody comes and invades, somebody comes to try to get the vision, they can't see anything. They don't know how long the buff is, how much health he has on it, and that's just those little mistakes that you learn once you play this often enough. Once you get into that jungle mode, you always expect the enemy to try to come at you, and you have to be safer while trying to get those buffs.
I mean, especially when you have something that's so powerful just by itself in the early game, like the Agudo, right? Your teammates needs to be there for you and kind of expect and engage coming in from the enemy side, especially when you're facing up against a team like N19, who last game invaded your jungle and last game just dominated throughout the series. But it does seem like there was 3 men taking the red buff, but no one was there to kind of block and kind of prevent the Agudo from engaging. But what is that damage, Private?
Yeah, immediately. And this is why you have those Angela picks, even in lower ranks, with that ultimate coming out. So much damage. The Blazing Brilliance chunks down a lot of the tankier heroes that we have in here. And Sun Se was the first on the list. Depthmaker unfortunately felt the wrath of that ability the moment they got their level 4.
I mean, N19 is a team that do not need any invitation for their aggression. Look like they're trying to secure themselves another red buff and might actually be successful.
Yeah, 3 pop-ups there. They are going to be able to take down the Byron. Kevin is going to be the odd one out, but the mission has succeeded. They take another Crimson Golem from the side of Fire Legion Esports, and that just means your jungle is just no longer safe. The fact that they have it on repeat right now, which means that they have it on timer. They understand when the buff is going to be up, so they're always ready to come up there to try to engage it, to try to take it away from you. Here, Skylar Honey looking for maybe an angle to try to get. He's got a good positioning here. If he could find the pop-up, does try to fan a big pop-up, big push, but nobody else is ready with the audio attack. Skylar able to find a kill, able to find himself a nice little pickup there for his team. Coming in from the side, though, is Bigwin with that massive damage coming out with the Blazing Brilliance.
I mean, a great response from Angela, right? Rotating very quickly to the bot lane and reacting. But when you have a Mai in the early game, if she just connects her combo, it'll be really hard to dodge that one setup coming in from Mai. But this is the early game. That does close the gold gap just by a little bit, but still N19 sitting comfortably at 1K gold ahead.
Yeah, Blazing Brilliance again there to kind of clean up the mid lane. Gudo in trouble, actually might not be able to get out of here. Yeah, tosses the bear out and they make short work. 4-3 here. Does look like Fire Legion Esports have some signs of life here. Speaking of which, Skybang trying to protect this bottom tower against 2 members of N19. They do back off. Kevin in a little bit of trouble, but Skylar Honey, I mean, that is a big clash laner right there. You might want to watch out. 3-on-1 there. Has the little box. Are they going to find the stun? It's going to be enough to take down Kevin, but from the side, another Blazing Brilliance all over the faces of Anne, and Sun Se comes in looking for a launch, big pop-up, able to take down the Mage of N19. They are getting very close, 6-5 here. Here comes a Gudo from forward, and that is going to be a short kill there, 7-5 in favor of N19.
Oh, Gudo was hungry for revenge, right? Saving Pigwin. I mean, Pigwin, there's just so much brilliance she can raise, right? So when you're knocked down by 3 enemy side, as an Angela, there's just so much you can do. But already doing God's work with that Blazing Brilliance and with all the damage and kills that she's bringing onto the map.
Ooh, Skylar trying to get away, gets caught up. Byron on Kevin there, does find the kill. Now another stun there onto Kevin. He's going to get taken down, but that is 3 down for the side of Fire Legion Esports, and N19 continuing their domination through this mid lane. I got to give praise to Fire Legion Esports, though. Their side laners doing what they need to. I'm not sure if they want this little bit of a base race, but it does look like they might actually be able to get some momentum on these tier 2 towers of N19 while they they here are pushing at the high ground towers. You see there a big blow up there as Skylar Honey gets destroyed, and another Blazing Brilliance trying to get behind it, looking for the angle. Are they going to be able to find it? They aren't. Rainy on that Milan tried to get behind Pigwin on the Angela to try to dodge the Blazing Brilliance, but it wasn't enough. He ends up eating a face full of N19 grouping there. Ooh. And this is a 14-8 game.
I mean, Long for the cleanup, right? Knows exactly when to kind of go back, and now Maestro might be able to clean this up, but at what cost, right? They lost their mid lane tower all the way to the base.
Okay, they got it. I was scared there. They kind of got sidestepped there. Almost broke the ankles of Sun Se on that set sail, but they were able to clean it up. 10-14 games, still in favor of N19. 2K gold lead now with B tier mid invading the jungle of Fire Legion Esports, and he gets taken down.
Yeah, already a much cleaner game compared to the first game, right? Although they did lose their mid lane tower all the way to the base, they are sitting pretty comfortably with not too much of a gold deficit compared to N19, and now dragging the game all the way to almost 10-minute mark. And for the Long to kind of get some more farm, we could be looking at a very good game for the side of Fire Legion Esports.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because when you see the gold here, it doesn't look like it's too big of a gold lead, but it's basically two heroes, the Gudo, Pigwin, and Ferd, who have 1,000 gold lead on their enemies here. Ooh, big bits of damage here coming out as well, looking to try to get under that box and misses. Oh, a wide cannon blast goes off, veers down to the bottom, doesn't connect with anybody, and unfortunately, Rene takes the hit for Fire Legion Esports. They do answer back. 3 of N19 have been taken down.
I mean, like you mentioned, a great answer from Fire Legion Esports, but they're unable to convert these decisive team fights into any leads or into more vision on the map for themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the biggest part, is you can start closing the gold gap here if you want to. You can start getting kills to try to even it out. You're only 2 kills away from N19, but the towers are where it matters. The jungle is where it matters. If you can get, if you're not able to go into enemy jungle, start refusing the farm, start refusing them buffs, then it's almost a wasted effort. Here, now you see them going ahead and started on the Overlord, looking for the flank here onto Reynar. Is that going to be enough? Rainy looking for a side pat there. A little bit of a flash gets out there. Soon C gets taken out. Deathmaker down for the count. N19 looking to continue this on. A cannon blast comes out from Ann to slow down the rest of the party. Is it going to be enough? They do a good job of trying to disengage. They only lost Deathmaker, but I mean, right now it's all about those towers that are coming in. Look at how much skill damage coming out. Agudo gets taken out. The Blazing Brilliance comes out, finds a target of its own. Rainy was next on the chopping block. 18-15 right now. And I mean, they've got a pathway through mid. Oh, they missed with that set sail. Unfortunate for the side of Fire Legion Esports. They have a pathway. N19 has a huge pathway through mid, which has opened up the map for them. So there's nowhere for Fire Legion Esports to run. But those side lanes are still kind of at their tier 2, so they're not really able to make a lot of headway into the base. And as I say that, 2 members actually get caught here. We do have the ultimate coming out from the Loom. Skybang does not get away, and N19 is so quick to collapse onto him.
I mean, that is one flashy ultimate from Long, used for his escape, but was unable to connect and actually get out safely of harm's way, right? But as you mentioned, the Sunta haven't landed any of his boats this entire game. It's actually a little bit sad, but quite the enjoyment to watch.
Well, and that's kind of the problem there too, is one, you have like a Sun Ce and you have that set sail, you want to go out and you want to be able to hit the enemy, not just hit the enemy, but hit the enemy at a position that the rest of your team can actually be able to kind of get into there. We do have a little bit of a square comes out there. They are able to take down Amatsi. 4 down. Skybang is the next one. Complete team wipe at the 10-minute mark, and down goes Long and Redney again. Not the decisively quick game we saw from the first one, but just as dominant as N19 start turning their attention to these tier 2 towers.
I mean, Maya is up for defense, right? But just now, when the minion was at the base, kind of went in for the kills instead of pushing down that high ground, and just some flashy plays coming from N19, and now might be the chance for them to close this game up.
Yeah, and unfortunate for the side of Fire Legion Esports, fighting against the clock. No, well, I mean, that high ground is, yeah, basically no high grounds left on their side. And look at the big stun. Look how well from the side Penguin hits them with the stun. Blazing Brilliance is out. Then that's 2 people taken off, and they weren't even looking for her. They were trying to get to the top lane to try to save that. It's just some great amount of CC, some great aiming coming from Penguin to really offset this, and there is just nothing they can do against that damage.
I mean, we have a tanky front line like you do for with the Agudo. It's great to have an Angela game, right? Wow, and that is all they wrote for this game as N19 takes the series with a clean sweep.
Yeah, 2-0 against Fire Legion Esports there, but man, the damage coming out from the Angela there, from Penguin, landing those stuns. The moment they were able to get that level 4, to get that Blazing Brilliance, immediately set the Sun Se on fire, set the mid lane on fire. It was, look, you could see 11 and 2 there for Penguin.
I mean, an MVP well-deserved, right? That I might just be pulling out some Angela and dominating my games in ranked today. What a great game coming in from N19. They're having a lot of fun, right, Private? I think this series was definitely very enjoyable for the side of N19. It's very enjoyable for us to watch as well. Fire Legion Esports gave it their best shot, right? They might did a lot in the early game. Long got some kills as well, but it just wasn't enough when you have a team like N19.
Well, yeah, and like we said, it starts with those little mistakes that you make that always kind of like start to add up right from the beginning. You had Deathmaker in his jungle focusing on the Crimson Golem. He didn't hide it into his bush. Ferd was able to go in there, see it, know exactly when he needed to go ahead and catch that smite, and stole it away. And Ferd, as we're talking about that, as I'm explaining what went wrong there, you could see Ferd do exactly what he's supposed to. Take his buff, even though he just stole it from the enemy, and he's got clear vision of where they are. He took it into his bush anyway, just in case. It's those little things that you do to keep things safe, always playing like the enemy knows where you are, always playing like somebody could steal it. That's become such a huge factor. Well, I don't even want to say a huge factor. They're those things that need to be ingrained in you when you're playing at this level.
I mean, absolutely, right? You always want to be prepared. You always want to communicate with your team when you have a vision, when you see something on cooldown or someone missing from their lane, right? But it is not to blame for Fire Legion Esports. When you see an Arlie missing or an Agudo missing, they could be anywhere. They could be at their own red buff or at their blue buff or just camping somewhere or helping out the jungle for an Arlie, but they did not expect the rotation coming in from N19. And with more practice, I think it would be a much better game for Fire Legion Esports. So great game played from both sides, and that is what we saw for the first series of Stay Private.
Yeah, a very dominating series there for N19s. So, I mean, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the standings here so far. And I mean, for the North American Kings Arena, you can see there 2-0, a clean sweep for N19 over Fire Legion Esports, who joined us last week to fit the place of a team that had to drop out. So hats off to them for competing up at this level. And hopefully, I mean, you're learning something from this. Like I said, it's not easy to kind of put your ego on the line and try to better yourself and go against people that are at a level that is far above you. I know some teams that just kind of get crushed under stuff like that and don't even want to play anymore.
And I mean, speaking about that, Trolls Inc. Kind of well-deserving of their name. They actually forfeited today as well. So they won't be trolling our games today anymore. With that being said, that does bring that does bring Flash Smilodon up into phase 2 automatically, and they know exactly what the viewers want to watch, right? Flash Smilodon, N19, very dominating games last week, very entertaining, and now it looks like we're gonna jump straight into that as we enter into the round robin format for phase 2.
Yes, Trolls Inc. They did have to drop out. However, I do want to make a clarification too, because we didn't mention it this time. Stamina Esports, they did not drop out. They did have to take a loss because they are competing at KML right now in Asia, representing the Americas at KML. So they did unfortunately have to drop out and forfeit their games this week. But very much, we do wish them good luck in their games coming up in Asia.
Yeah, once again, the winner of that King Major League can represent the region into the KMW. So it will be a very important game for them and for us as a community. So we wish them all the best. And tomorrow we actually get to speak to someone from Stamina Esports. So get ready for that. And as we speak, now let's take a look at the current standings and what we're up for in the next phase.
Yeah, as we just got done with phase 1, we just saw where each team will compete in a best of 3. We are now going to be moving on to phase 2, where the winners of those matches will compete in a best of 1 round robin. That's 3 games of a best of 1 that are about to happen here, and that will find us who will be wearing that, well, maybe not a king crown yet, but like more of a noble or a lord crown moving forward into Sunday to try to find out who's going to be the actual king of the hill.
Well, right now, DJB Club is sitting pretty comfortably as the runner-up with BYL as the champion all through 2 weeks. So whoever wins today will get a chance to face up against them tomorrow, and one last chance to secure that prize pool and to secure that glory, right? Guys, it is a very fast day today, but very exciting matches coming up as we take a short break, and we'll be back for phase 2 of day 1 of week 3.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
And guys, we are back to day 1 of week 3, the last phase of arena stage. We are looking at phase 2 today. Very exciting matches. Not too many in the first half of the show today, but we are jumping straight into the round robin, and I'm here with Private Answer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One match, one series that we just kind of got through there kind of showed the domination of N19, wondering if they're going to be able to carry that momentum here into phase 2, into that round robin, as we take a look at some of the standings here right now.
Yeah, so for today, we've seen N19 versus Fire Legion Esports with a dominating clean sweep 2-0 up against Fire Legion Esports, putting themselves into phase 2 of today's matches. Now, the second series, STMN Esports, they are representing North America, representing the Americas at the KML, so they won't be participating, unfortunately, in today's matches. But best of luck to them in Asia and their chance for KMW. Now, the last series we didn't get to see because Trolls Inc. Decided to troll a little bit today, and that puts their competitor Flash Smiley back into the phase 2, and now we will see 3 teams compete up against each other for one chance to be the challenger of this week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Phase 2 will be our best of 1 round robin scenario. Each team will face against each other. 3 teams there, 1 team will reign supreme. There is a very small chance of each team, I think, getting 1 point, and then we've got some interesting things that happen there to try to be the tiebreaker for it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at our first competing team.
Yeah, looking at the roster for Midnight Thieves, we have Lost in the Sauce for Clash Lane, SCV in the jungle, Team Oclara in the mid lane, Ocheront in the roam, and Super Makoto in the gold lane, and Loch just sitting there waiting for his turn.
Such interesting names coming from all of these teams, but their competition here in this arena will be we'll take a look at their opponents in just a moment there, but I think that's supposed to be Timo Clara, like a lesser, maybe higher version. Here, N19 team members, it's going to be B tier mid, bringing up the Clash lane. Fred will be our jungler. The mid mage position picked up by Sui, the roam position by Ayaka, and farm lane will be taken up by Kevin. We just saw that not really a bench warmer there. Pigwin actually played the mid lane here for Sui in our last game and had a very dominating performance.
Yeah, Pigwin put his name on the map for us with that Angela, that godly mage. Might be A tier or S tier mid if we're talking about it. But draft seems to be ready for this first game of phase 2. Let's take a look at what the teams have in store for us, Private.
Oh, I'm actually very excited to see that Fire Legion Esports immediately pick up a Nagudo. They're gonna take that off the board. We're gonna take it. It's been so strong. We're gonna see how this pairs up with a Leon Po, with that tankiness, if we're gonna be able to dive underneath these towers to get that to get some of that damage. Actually, that's not going to be Fire Legion Esports. That is going to be Midnight Thieves on that side. So I just want to make sure. I was just like, well, something's odd here. But yeah, that's going to be Midnight Thieves on the right side there. SCV on the Agudo, and they've also picked up the Fuzi.
Yeah, the Fuzi has been banned all throughout the tournament pretty much as well. So having that available for the side of Midnight Thieves, that might be their lucky week this week, Private. I mean, they got a free roll into the phase 2, and now some very dominating picks up for grabs on their side. The Agudo, we've seen so far almost a perfect win rate. So will this game continue that momentum for this hero that's clearly dominating this tournament and dominating the jungler lane? Now for N19, we do see the Lon and the Youngjen picked up. Youngjen and Dahlia, very dominating combo as well.
Yeah, very interesting here. We do have the Dolia pickup, which has been, it's usually one of the stronger, I want to say, support pickups for most of the teams. It just depends on when you're able to use that cooldown reset here, especially with a Yang Jian. You're going to be able to use those Site of Origin lasers. I think you can use them 3 times with a normal ultimate, but if you have a Dolia on your team, that means you're going to be able to use them 6 times. That is an immense amount of health that you're going to be able to take back for your team, for the tanking for your team there. On the opposite side there, Midnight Thieves are going to go ahead and pick up the Nuwa, try to get into that late game damage that they need.
Yeah, Nuwa very dominating mid laner right now in this current patch. We've seen Nuwa almost getting a very high win rate as well, but in response, Byron picked out looking to lock in for N19. I mean, Byron is just really tanky in the early game. Their entire composition, actually, it might be the Liampo. The Liampo is definitely a S tier Clash laner right now. He has so much potential and also cheeky plays in store for him. So I really do like the lineup for N19 and paired up with the Lady Gen that could do a lot of CC and has some peel for herself as well.
That'd be the Guan Yu for N19. It's as a beard man myself, I am able to distinguish between the heavier and smaller beards of our Lianpo and Guan Yu. They do get confusing though. Lianpo already picked up for Midnight Thieves, so I kind of cheated. I already recognized that was on the enemy team. But the Guan Yu having that big ability, especially with the cavalry, it just means that you're going to have a team that's coming at you from multiple different directions there. Really great, and I've talked about this before, especially when it comes to having a Nuwa on your team, somebody who really needs to focus on one direction and the damage they're outputting there. B tier mid's going to be able to come in from a flank and really be able to surprise them.
Yeah, and the pair up between Aguro and the DJB.Zero, right? They have so much macro plays in store for them and able to shred the health bar off the towers really quickly. So N19 really have to be prepared and defend not only their towers, but also control the rhythm of the game to ensure that they get to that late game potential and get some really good team fights that utilizes their comp.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see if they can do that. It really kind of gets into it. How are we protecting our jungle? How are we getting into these early games? Are we not making the mistakes that we need to allow the enemy to get all these little tiptoes ahead of us by like the first minute mark? Midnight Thieves, they made it here into phase 2. Let's see if they can kind of put that together with a cohesive strategy in the opening minutes here.
Yeah, and the game is ready. Private Dancer, let's dance ourselves into the first round robin game of today.
I'm expecting to see, I mean, we already saw, I mean, Midnight Thieves, they were able to get themselves a little bit of a bye here into phase 2. So what better way to kind of really show that we belong than to maybe even be able to get a surprise victory off of N19. I want to see enough. I want to see protection here in the early game. Already going to have, you see a rotating coming down, Ayaka onto the bottom lane. They're looking to try to get themselves a little bit of a surprise. Has to use that. Oh, flash, but it is not enough. Look, takes a big hit there and a first blood for N19.
I mean, N19 is definitely continuing their aggression throughout today. I mean, they had 2 aggressive games in the first phase of today, and now putting that momentum and bringing it into the game against Midnight Thief with Long taking in that first kill.
Yeah, and these are those little things, paying attention to the mini map, understanding the rotations from mid. As soon as mid had gotten cleared up, you got to understand they're coming for your lane. Make yourself scarce, try to get close to your tower. Unfortunately, even with a flash out there, you've wasted a spell and you've taken a death. So, I mean, it puts you a little bit behind. Not too far just yet. They're not able to get too many more kills off of that, but already you can see Ayaka waiting, biding their time in a great position to try to surprise bottom.
Yeah, for Midnight Thieves, they really have to look out for the early game, but if they really were able to get to the late game and have some items, have foods to pop off towards late game, oh, an engage coming in.
Yeah, and he runs smartly for his team. May be able to get away there, taken down to about 10% health. You can see the rest of his team looking for the engagement. They find a kill onto Futsi. SCV is down. Timo Clara down as well. 4-0. What a great play coming from B tier mid. He baits out the abilities. The rest of, I want to say, Midnight Thieves, they come in for the engagement. They don't realize that N19 is right behind them. B tier mid squeezes through his own team as they provide that suppressive fire and 3 kills of their own.
Yeah, Youngjian just rose immediately, not to dive too deep under the tower, but another clash happening in this jungle as Youngjian takes the red buff from Aguro.
Oh man, look at the damage there. SCV. Oh, look at the freezing coming out. He's going to be able to inch his way toward that little health plant. He is able to get it, but right now 4-0 right now. The momentum firmly in N19 at the bottom, off a screen. Down goes Look on that Renze. A pickup there by Kevin.
I mean, look at this Guan Yu just rolling around and just taking Fuzi down like that 1 versus 1. That's how strong he is in the clashing right now. And Aguro, I mean, just now we saw Lady Jen kind of pop off in the early game as well. Just the frozen ability that she has. You cannot be too clamped up together with your team, right? You really, when you have something like that up against you, you need to watch out for your positioning and not, and it kind of breaks apart your positioning and the synergy that you have with your team.
Yeah, Lady Shen is just a great pickup, especially when you're going up against something like an Aguro who's going to dive underneath your tower. As a Lady Shen, you can place your ultimate underneath there. You can place your stun underneath there. It's a great counter there. As you can see, the rest of the team coming in here. They do find a kill onto Timo Clara. Now trying to dive underneath the tower. SCV in trouble. Lasers are out and down goes the bear. SCV down for the count. 8-0 for N19.
Oh, it's looking like what we've seen so far today. Private 8-0 at the 4-minute mark and a decisive 4K gold lead in favor of N19.
Yeah, and they're not stopping. They immediately go for the enemy jungle. They're going to go ahead behind the flank onto this tower so they can start building up that macro support that they need. Side towers look to be doing very well. Actually, I want to say DJB.Zero, look, at the bottom is going to probably be able to get himself some momentum, pick himself up a tower, and make this a 1-for-1 trade.
I mean, he understands his assignment, right? He's so good at just pushing the tower and pretty tanky as well as a farm laner. So he's able to kind of let his team do their job and at the same time push down the towers. And a bit of a team fight happening in the pit right now, Private.
Yeah, unfortunate for the side of the Midnight Thieves there. That was not a fight that they want. There's too much damage on the side of N19, and you throw your bear in there, you try to get your tankiness up, but you are just getting shredded there. Right now, Kevin just having such a great game. He's got his items. He's able to kind of lock on with a lot of his auto attacks, and once these fights start, if he's in the background, if nobody's able to get to him, he's just able to kind of just throw some free fire out onto them and really chunk them down.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, Private. Right? Like for Alone this game, there's not much that can close the distance and really get to the back line. And as a marksman that did just more skill shot based, he just needs to stand from afar and kind of do his combos, and that is going to inflict a lot of damage on the enemy team.
Yeah, Infinite Vastness has been used, looking for another engagement here. Annihilation Laser comes out from Clara and still not able to find the advantage, but look at all of the damage coming out from Kevin, making short work of this mid lane tower. That's all the tier 1s taken down for the side of Midnight Thieves. The rest of N19 trying to push their will through this mid lane. Now looking for the tier 2, mounting a little bit of an offense is Midnight Thieves, looking big onto the back end. They go ahead, lock onto Ferd, but he's already got a lot of those cooldowns. He's super tanky and they are not able to stop the push.
Is there light at the end of the tunnel, right? Private for Midnight Thieves. Right now they're looking at a 9K gold deficit, almost 10K here at the 6-minute mark. A lot of items decked out on the side of N19.
I mean, there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, but is it going to be victory or is it going to be the sweet release of death at the 10-minute mark that N19 seems to be going for here, pushing in through the bottom lane here? onto the high grounds, looking for an engagement. They do catch one on to Artron. Is it going to be enough? They are going to have to go back to the base. No more members having to leave back to the base, and they are making mincemeat of this bottom tower. They don't even have minions here, so they're just rotating the aggro of those tower shots, and that's just telling you the skill level and the confidence coming from N19. They don't even have minions. They're rotating those tower shots off of each one of their members to try to put the damage on there.
And looking at Lady Jen, right? If she's not able to get anyone on the team for Midnight Thieves, she can at least get one person, and that's Aduro. Aduro hasn't had a great game so far. She just keeps getting frozen and pushed back, rolling back for his life into the base, and there goes the Lianpo.
Yeah, and I was going to say that there really isn't too much anti-heal on the team of N19. I did see a blazing cape out there though, so they do have a little bit of anti-heal, but I mean, when you're this far ahead, raw damage is going to be able to kind of eat through the healing of Midnight Club's composition here. Now working on the mid high ground tower, now just left with the bottom one, but are they even going to go for it? They have minions coming in through the bottom. You see that Annihilation Laser trying to clear them out there. Long picks up a kill onto fellow marksman from the opposing team, looking for another as Agudo goes down. Now onto the back line, minions at the door, trying to put the auto attacks on there. 50%. I don't know if they want. I'm pretty sure they could possibly take down this score, but they're taking their time as minions begin to spawn. 8 minutes and 32 seconds. Auto attacks from Kevin. That's going to do it. 8 minutes and 30-second game here for N19, victorious against Midnight Thieves.
Victorious indeed. There goes our first round robin victory to N19. One game only on taking down Midnight Thieves, and so many S's on the board.
Yeah, definitely big triple S for Ferd. We talked about it, that team up with Ayaka here on this Adolia. When you're able to kind of get those resets onto your ultimates, when you're able to get to the back line, the damage, the health regen that he has with that ultimate is just huge. And we talked about it too when we were taking a look at some of the items. They weren't even able to build too much. I don't even think they started building anti-heal items until about the 7-minute mark. And especially against a composition like this, of Midnight Thieves, they just were able to manhandle with just raw damage alone to really kind of offset this.
Yeah, I mean, 38% damage coming in from this Lady Jen, right? I mean, I think half of that went on to Aguro, and that is exactly where you want it to be. When you have such tanky front lines and you're able to kind of suppress them and not let them do what they do best. Now, great game for N19, a very decisive victory, and they're on a roll today, Privates. They got 3 dominating games, 2 dominating series, and now they just secured themselves their first victory in phase 2.
Yeah, they have themselves one more victory to go if they want to be moving on to the to our final phase here. But shades of Flash Smilodon last week, where they just N19 have had a very dominating opening here on Saturday. Like you said, 3 games in a row so far, and they seem unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, unstoppable is their name. Today, let's take a look at the standing and recap the victories that we've seen so far from N19. So in the morning, we see N19 2-0 up against Fire Legion Esports. Stamina right now in Asia, so they're not able to participate. And Flash Smilodon gets an auto win as Trolls Inc. pulls out.
Yeah, and unfortunate for some of those teams, like we said, Flash Smilodon competing in the Americas. So good luck to them in Asia. Very happy to see, very eager to watch and see how well they do. But the story of the North American Kings Arena here is in phase 2. N19 with a victory over Midnight Thieves. But the next match, I want to say, probably the one that a lot of fans are looking for. It doesn't matter how dominant you are. It's been these teams, N19 and Flash Smilodon, have really kind of been duking it out here on the Saturdays to see who goes forward. With the most part, it's been Flash Smilodon who have been successful. But will N19 be able to change that with the momentum behind them here today?
Yeah, will they continue the momentum? We'll have to see, right? And for everyone watching, all the fans of the Americas, make sure you support Stamina Esports in their journey at KML. Best of luck to the team, and hopefully they have a great series in Asia as well. And for everybody, let's take a short break, and we'll be back for the next game of Phase 2.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire. Yes, a man will always admire.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
Welcome back, everyone, to day 1 of week 3 of the arena stage. I'm your caster Liz, joined alongside by Private Dancer, as we had a pretty smooth day and short day today.
Yes, that's right. We started with phase 1 N19 being victorious over their counterparts, Fire Legion Esports. And then, like we said, one series is we had Stamina Esports. We're able to they have a spot in KML, so they're going to be competing in Asia. That means that Midnight Thieves were able to move forward. Unfortunate with our third match, Flash Smilodon and Trolls. Trolls was not able to compete, and Flash Smilodon will be moving forward. As we moved on to phase 2, N19 took a part Midnight Thieves in a very dominating 10-minute match, which means that they have a victory in their pockets as well.
Yeah, but looking at the board right now, guys, N19 auto win up against Flash Smilodon. Today, unfortunately, Flash Smilodon, a very dominating team throughout this tournament, is unable to come up with their full roster today. So they will be forfeiting the matches today. That brings us to N19, another victory in their books, and Midnight Thieves taking one game from Flash Smilodon. That's a win for Midnight Thieves. And looking ahead N19 will be our challenger this week. Very dominating series all throughout today, and they played every game today, Private.
Yeah, so as we continue here, you can see the challenger that will be moving on to our Sunday. Phase 3 will be N19, a very dominating Saturday here. And we are hopeful to see if they can take that brilliance, take that domination, and take that momentum into potential victories on Sunday's Phase 3.
Yeah, everything was thrown into a shuffle this week, right? And this is N19's chance to be the challenger of the Phase 1 and 2, and now moving into Phase 3 and having a chance to take down the best teams so far in this tournament, DJB Club and BYL. And if they can continue that momentum and snowball it into tomorrow's games, they might be looking at some glory in their pockets and money in their bank. Now, a player from N19 will be joining us for an interview, B-Tier Mid, who is actually their Clash laner.
Yeah, the Clash laner for N19. I believe he should be in the room with us. How is it going, B-Tier Mid?
Hello, we are very happy that we're able to go to Phase 3, and we will try our best to win.
Yeah, I mean, you guys played a very dominating series today, and some very interesting heroes that you picked out. For the Angela pick that game, what was going on in your in the team comps for that?
I think our mid is actually an Angela main, so I think he wants to play Angela. Yeah, I think that's basically the main reason. There's no really like specific strategic reason for it. Yeah.
And for me, like looking at your records, you guys are Latin America peak top 1 and NA peak top 1. Can I ask how many points do you need to have in your for your team to be top 1?
Like it depends on when we hit this placement during the season, right? And then we usually, and then our teammates hit this during the early part of the season, so it's like around like 1900 peak points.
So moving on will be harder, right? Private.
Yeah, and I was going to ask too, with you've been up against some of these teams here before, be it DJM or a BYL, and or even teams like Flash Smilodon, where you have maybe not been as successful as you were today against Fire Legion Esports and as successful as you were against Midnight Thieves. Has there been any things that you identified that moving forward when you do go against these top teams that you're really kind of looking to show that you've improved on?
I think the main problem that we identified is our ban pick phase. Like, we think that we didn't pick the correct heroes at the correct time to form the best team composition. And then this week we talked a lot about how to fix this issue, and I think we are more prepared coming in this week.
Yeah, and absolutely. And tomorrow you guys get to face up against DJB Club once again. You actually took a game for them previously as well. So tomorrow you are the challenger up against DJB Club, and whoever wins will face up against BYL, right? Have you watched some of the matches that they've played and identify some heroes and to improve your draft?
I think we have viewed some of them. Yeah, and we also viewed some KPL tournaments to see how the Chinese professional teams pick.
Yeah, and it will show tomorrow. And today you guys had a great tournament so far today. For you, and as a Clash laner, what gave you the name B-Tier Mid? Do you play mid sometimes in your ranked and peak?
It's because like when I play Peak, right, there's a lot of bad mid players. So then like I can't deal with bad mid players. So I named my game ID as B tier mid. Yeah.
Wow. For you then, can you recommend us one hero in your lane as a Clash lane? What is the best hero to play right now? And also for mid lanes, what is one thing that you think they can improve on to not be a B tier mid?
Okay, so for Clash lane, I think Chicha is really dominant right now. And I think what mid laners should do is to decrease their mortality rate. So then like teams can have like more view of the map, because the mid lane is very important, and if the mid lanes die, then you can't really control the mid lane, which is very important in HoK.
Yeah, guys,
I was gonna actually.
You heard him. Stop dying. Stop feeding.
Yeah, basically don't feed. I was just gonna ask one more follow up there. As a Clash laner yourself, what is, I want to say, one piece of advice you can give to other Clash laners that want to separate themselves from that average ranking, decently ranking Clash laner to a dominant in Peak, or at least getting to your level of a Clash laner? What do you think is the one piece of advice you can give the Clash laners out there?
Well, personally, I don't think I'm like very top compared to like the top Chinese teams. But then, like I see very commonly what the top Chinese Clash laners do is that they are very sensitive to the time. So like they know like when the lanes like touch each other, so they can like prepare for that. And then I think that's very important. And also they remember like when the little what do you call it? The 野怪, I don't know how to say it in English, sorry. Spawn, so then they can also like have better control of that.
Yeah, so know exactly when all the objectives spawn, right? That's very important for any player in the game. And last but not least, can you tell us a little bit more about your team for anyone who's not too familiar with you guys? How have you guys met? Have you guys been playing with each other a lot? And how did you guys make this team?
Yeah, we've been playing a lot. And then we basically met through a group chat and we just played together. And then we realized that we really matched really well, so we decided to come to this tournament and play.
And wow, you guys have been dominating this tournament. Very good job for all of you guys. Best of luck for tomorrow's matches. We're going to be up against some very strong teams, but I know you guys have been watching games and reviewing your own strategies, and hope you guys can show that tomorrow and give us a great show.
All right, thank you. We will try our best.
Wow, guys, stop feeding in the mid lane.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty handy advice when it comes to the mid laner. There is a lot of pressure when it comes to being the mid lane, because you control a lot of the aggression and the tempo of the game, because you want to be able to rotate. We've seen a lot of games, even some of the games here today, where clearing out the mid meant either the mage or the roam position was able to traverse through the river to get to those side lanes, to get those quick ganks on a surprised side laner there. So huge advice from him. And the timing, big thing for a Clash laner. Remember the timing when lanes crash and when objectives are spawning. But very much excited to see what type of improvement they make when they journey against the top two teams in the North American Kings Arena tomorrow at Phase 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at Sunday's schedule. Tomorrow we'll be in the Phase 3 matches. All of these matches will be best out of 5 standard ban pick, but potentially DJB Club could offer to go another global ban pick, and that will bring us a really good show, right? So N19 versus DJB first half of the series tomorrow, and then whoever wins in that matchup will be up against the challenger of the previous 2 weeks, BYL, sitting there pretty comfortably and pretty confidently. So very exciting matches tomorrow, Private.
Yeah, this is going to be the last week of the arena stage for somebody to potentially dethrone BYL before we move on to the playoffs. So big pressure on the shoulders of these N19 and DJB Club to see if maybe they can strike gold here tomorrow.
Yeah, and striking goal will be what they need to play up against a team like BYL, right? All of these teams we've spoken to so far have been very confident, and you can really see that they enjoy playing this game and enjoy playing with their teammates. So we're excited to see them showing us and giving us a great show while enjoying the game. And a lot of great advice we've got so far through the interviews, right? Especially for a mid lane player like myself, stop dying and also give vision. Very important tips. Also buy venomous staff. So we've seen how important that is so far in this tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed talking to these players as well and listening and learning more about the players in our community. And that's the most important thing that we take from this tournament, right? Very exciting day today. We've seen N19 dominate the map throughout today's matches, and always a pleasure to cast alongside Private. Any last thought before we let everyone go?
Well, as you guys don't know, there is a community around this. If you guys look in the description of the video, you can find our Discord and join our community to find out all the latest and greatest going on with the North American Kings Arena and just things going on in North America honor of Kings in general. So make that your little bit of a hot spot there. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, handshakes, elbows, whatever else is out there for you guys to like the channel and continue with your great support here in North America. Private Dancer, an honor to cast for you guys.
Yeah, honored to cast with Private. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and join our Discord as well. Make sure you stay tuned for all the exciting events and games happening as well. Make sure to support Stamina Esports on their journey at KML as they represent the Americas in an international stage in Asia right now. So watch some KML, also watch some KPL, watch some NAKA, and we'll see you tomorrow for Phase 3 matches. I'm Liz, signing off.